What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 10 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Sea Lord Aislinn Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, our counter-invasion of Naggaroth is going fairly well. We have revived Naggaroth and have given them plenty of territory, have taken our first landmark-toting colony in Clarkarond, and are looking to take Hag Graef and Naggaroth itself, as well as colonies. We have gotten our debut battles out of our Mondus down here with the reliance on the Shadow Warriors and Salendor the Patient, and oh, I'm gonna remember, do the Shadow Walkers of Naggaroth, are they unique units in the sense that we cannot build them, or would we be able to? Are they like Mistwalkers is what I'm getting at? I would like to know. I don't think they can recruit them as yet anyway, but we gotta pay attention to it. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this particular turn, let's take a look. Artheus the Vengeful does not need to do anything. Eladan, you are supposed to join the White Lions because you're a conductor of beasts. You know what, once again, I like this idea. Eladan, conductor, won't fit. Oh, maybe the whole thing won't fit. Eladan, conductor of beasts. And I don't like beast conductor. You know what, cancel. All good. Anyway, you're gonna go here and we're gonna have you land because we'll attack with Zubaran instead because she's leveled and Eladan is not. I'm just gonna hope Eladan doesn't immediately get assassinated, but I guess we'll see. Meron, I don't remember who you are. Oh, Negator. Okay, yeah. You can go here to join our Mondus. And I believe that's all we gotta do this turn. We have not enough money to be doing any building once again, and perhaps as usual, so let's just keep going as we are. Skip outposts and then the turn. Yes? Yes. Wait. You know what? Let's get a couple of names in here. What do we have? Company of the Calendarian Deck Swabbers. Okay, one ship's company. Easy. The Red Shirts. Like so. Sea Dragon Marines, Southern Seaguard. We can have you be Seafoam Spears. And let's do two. And Company of Tailfin. Okay. Like, oh, Tailfin? Is that what it's supposed to be? I see what you did there. Anyway, Lothern Sea Cutter. Well, actually, we don't know whether we're keeping these in this particular army. Although, if we transfer them, let's name one. Bird Taxi. The only thing I'm not sure of is since we don't have the Vanguard Master on these guys, we may want to swap them out into the artillery variant. In theory, maybe. I will consider it anyway. Sea Elemental, we can do Mathlann's Wrath, and since last time we got Calendarian up and we got Caradrian up and running. Let's name one of our. Let's do Phoenix. You can be a Grand Beacon, like so. Oh, and I believe we got Bolt Thrower variant of Lothern Skycutters on you. So you Skycutters, we'll name one of you, and you can be Bombardment. Like so. Alright, good enough. Forgot to do the naming last episode, so may as well have gotten a decent amount now. Now, let's continue. See if anybody attacks us as we make our way towards Hag Graef and the next colonies. Again, about time that we got a few more on field. Join war against... You're at war with Hag Graef? Why are you at war with Hag Graef? Why stop declaring war on factions? This is how you got yourself killed like a complete moron. Couldn't hold on to any of your territory anywhere. Okay. Elves. So arrogant. Declaring war for no reason. Hey, we're giving them a chance to build up, but if given the chance, they will screw it up. Construction costs for defense buildings, we're not really using those right now. Leadership for armies or 32 influence for money. I mean, we're free to... I assume this isn't like a special mage. Oh, and we've already read this one. The Safari and Ivres infighting. This is just plain not worth it, I think. Unless this counts... I wonder if this counts the defense buildings that we're building in outposts. I feel like it doesn't. Let's just do publicly condemn them and get the additional leadership, because this will help in auto-resolve, I think. You know what? Actually, let's try this. Quietly confide in Ivres. I'm interested to see... I had a feeling, Eladan. Immediately freaking wounded, but she'll be back. The Drowned destroyed, the Cult of Pleasure destroyed, the Decadent Host. Wait, who destroyed the Decadent Host? Is it Khorne? Khorne and Slaanesh like to fight each other. No, but, oh, actually, yes. Yeah, it looks like Valkia the Bloody. What level is she at, out of curiosity? 34. Ooh, that'll be a nice fight for Aislinn at some point. Oh, for the love of Malekith. Where are you coming from, buddy? And we can't reach you right now, at least. I mean, we can go to Clark Caron, but I don't imagine any of you guys can reach him. No, and Likamoida, please? No dice. Alright, well, I wonder. I wish I could see what was in his army. Alright, Arathond, go into Clark Caron. Likamoida, you go outside of Clark Caron, I guess. And just to double check, you definitely can't attack him? No. Damn. Huh. Is he stuck? I think he's stuck. We put him in our zone of control. Well, we already have the defeat trait on Aislinn, so let's give Arathond the chance to get it. Beautiful. Alright, that worked well. This also harkens back to Arathond in Imric's campaign, and a bit of a repeat of that story. Anyway, Vanguard Master was for the Sky Cutters, and I think we wanted Sky Master as well for the Eagles. Alright, gotta put a point in all of these. Let's go through Rally as well. Alright, looking good. Aislinn, you are thus able to proceed to Hag Graef, and 35k to sack it, but if we can take it as a tier 4 colony, I would really prefer to do that. Let us besiege it, and I'm gonna hope that they sally out. They got a pretty solid stack there, plus the Knights of the Ebon Claw and the Blades of the Blood Queen. We should certainly give them a chance. Oh, salty. About that. Oh, tech. Yes. We want... I mean, we could level up the White Lions and stuff, which is fine. It's not the most necessary thing in the world. We could take 5 turns to grab the Lord and Hero recruit rank, which is decent and would help us everywhere. Is there a better thing than this? Well, there were actually a couple of these that I wanted to do, maybe. So, you know what? Let's grab trade advancements, and then we'll probably pick up a few of these, like the missile strength for all archers and shadow warriors and all that. And that should be worth our time. And Abyssa ran away to the Altar of Facades. Unfortunately for her, this puts her in march. No, steel tech. Okay, stop. Please tell me you still have movement range. Alright, go here. I want to make sure you steel tech one more time. There you go. And you succeeded too. Good job. You know what? Save points until rank 10. Armandus besiege this. We're probably going to fight... Oh, right. It's the Pile of Furies. In theory, this is in our favor. In practice, it might not be as in favor as we think. The Shadow Warriors have extremely low melee defense, and the Furies would be able to obliterate the Eagle Claws. Could be an interesting fight. Alright, I think we'll fight it. We're not auto-resolving it, despite the fact that it says casualties low. It does still say close victory, after all. Go. Alright, okay, the Sun Dragon doesn't feel right for this Lord, but yeah, we're gonna have to probably switch the amounts a few times as they get changed, so and just leave it as it is for now. Anyway, this is probably going to be an extremely annoying army to fight. They have 10 Furies and 2 Praeton to their name, and that's a lot. Alright, Sun Dragon Fire Breath comes down. Unfortunately, it misses the Hellstriders, but I always like to get it on cooldown, even if it's only slightly damaging an enemy, only slightly clipping them. Most battles, it don't get to use all 3 Fire Breaths, so may as well just get it up and running and off cooldown. Anyway, the enemies charges in with the Chariots and Hellstriders. We do pincushion them, though we do at the same time take some damage to our Shadow Warriors. Unfortunately, the Shadow Warriors are solid units, but against the Slaaneshi with their extreme speed, they do get countered relatively quickly. So we're going to have to back off and towards our waiting lines of Silverin Guard and Sea Guard, hide behind their shields and spears, and continue laying down our fire from behind them and into the enemy flanks once we get around them. Of course, the Shadow Warriors are decent melee fighters like Dark Elven Shades, and we could turn and fight the Furies, but I feel like it's not worth it as we'll take too much damage. Besides, it looks like more Furies are touching down one upon one of our artillery crews and brings them down to about half of their HP rather quickly as even more Furies close the distance. We don't really have enough range firepower here to prevent them from touching down, and this is kind of why I wasn't believing the auto-resolve saying that this was such an easy fight, because that's a lot of Furies, and the AI is perfectly willing to sacrifice them completely in a way that the player is not. Though I do feel like certain units, like Furies and other basics, should be... I don't know, they should be easier to re-recruit or something, or maybe should have a higher chance to get Demons Reforged or something. And just so that you're able to sort of make these sacrificial plays like this, rather than be disincentivized from doing so, especially since, you know, they lose veterancy and then it's annoying to have to re-recruit them, both in terms of money and veterancy and, well, if you can even recruit them depending on where you are. Anyway, Lore Master of Hoeth is holding the enemy back with his great sword as best he can. He is quite surrounded here. But there is a unit of Silverin Guard moving to help him out. The Furies are at this point by and large destroyed, and the Praeton as well as the Lord and Heroes remain. Basically the single entities, though they have done very nicely to damage our Shadow Warriors and our Sisters of Avalorn. One of the artillery crews was pretty much destroyed by the Furies down to 4 units. Huh. That's over 10%. Does that mean that the unit survives? I guess we're gonna find out. Anyway, Lord and Hero are still trying to run our units down, but the mounted units are forced to close the distance and get trapped on those spears. The enemy Lord goes down, and the Hero follows suit. Beautiful. The Praeton, of course, remain, but the Sun Dragon is a bigger, scarier beastie than the Praeton is. 'Tis no noble great stag, and it will certainly fall under the dragon, or just get the heck out of there. With that, the Slaaneshi army is destroyed. They did decent damage to us, unsurprisingly. But they did give us a nice fight, which I'm pretty happy about. And oh wow, that noble really got hurt. Huh. Did you reach your healing cap? Wait, how were you even healing? I guess the Earth Blood was doing that? Interesting. Alright, there we go. When I first saw this army, I was wondering whether the AI purposely built it to fight this particular army of Armandus, and I still do wonder because, yeah, the giant pile of Furies is an annoying thing to deal with, as at least one of them has got to break through and touch down upon our Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, and one of them did, and in fact nearly destroyed it. Makes me wonder whether we'd be better to just outright replace all Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers with the Sky Cutter Bolt Throwers, because then they could fly away from the Furies at the cost of range and damage. But anyway, 5,200, not too bad in terms of the cash that we got for our trouble. 12k on the best performing Shadow Warrior units, 7k on all the Silverin Guard. I'm still thinking we should bring the 4th one back. 11k on the best performing unit of Sea Guard. Nice. Alrighty, we will take the place, or establish the outpost for the Order of Lore Masters. There you go. Destroying the Rapturous excess for good. And by the looks of the 1,000 gold cost, the Quietly Confiding Evrest does not apply. Oh well. I didn't think it would, but I wanted to test it. Anyway, Seahelm's quarters. Let's immediately build that Diplomat Sanctum, and, well... Ultra Facades is not coastal territory, so you're free to build one of these. EU, Castle of Splendor are also not a coastal territory. You can go for... Probably never generate a significant amount of money. Oh, I wonder, do we have any trade goods here? We have, oh, Crucible of Delights, the one place... Yeah, okay, never mind. We could get a few of these Cathedral procurement exchanges up and running. Get a little bit more cash flow at the cost of some trade, mind you, but I think we have a little, some surplus of trade that might be worth our time. Maybe even convert the entire place. Oh. Wait, it's only for coastal settlements, isn't it? It's just that Castle of Splendor happens to be a coastal settlement. Hmm. Alright, fair enough. We have plenty of the elven embassies anyway. Do one of these. Alrighty, and then otherwise we're good. Well, good-ish. Let's see what else we've got. So, Salendor, you are able to go into Mist Landing now. Couldn't quite tell that you had movement remaining because the game is rude like that, but it is what it is. Do you need to level anybody? You do not. Let's get revenge for your hero being taken down. Now, we are going to have a tough fight here once we fight it, and we have a chosen unit, so let's hope that Kairos isn't back next turn. We will besiege them. I do imagine that they should sally out. Hopefully they do, because I don't want to continue to fight after we suffer all of this attrition. I could have sworn you didn't suffer attrition when you besieged stuff, but apparently... Oh, you know what we could do? Counteract it. Invocation of Isha. All immune to attrition for all armies. For 10 turns, mind you. And it's a long 30-turn cooldown, but we are fighting in the Chaos Wastes now, and it's probably a good time to use it. Go for it. Gotta be careful with the, you know, expenditure, but still good. It won't make Saji immune to attrition, unfortunately, because that's special super attrition. But it is what it is. I don't think there's any armies here that could punish you, so let's carefully move you towards Aislinn. Huh. I wonder, well, I was gonna say, can Aislinn recruit while besieging? And maybe he can, but regardless of whether he can or he can't... You know what, let's move here. Regardless of whether he can or he can't, we probably couldn't afford to do so anyway. I'm curious, though. And cannot, it just says cannot recruit units, so by the looks of it, he can't. Alright, well, that's another little test. Artheus still cannot move. Tech Thief, you're the one that left the territory. Maron, you are going to join... Okay, let's not get in each other's way, please. I said... jerks. Elves are jerks. Alrighty, Armandus, I guess you can start moving here and sail out next turn. Heal up in this turn, though. Tech Thief, you're gonna have the same thing to do. What if it would be faster to go out here? Oh, you know what? Yeah, you can go grab this Remnants of Battle before you head anywhere else. And by anywhere else, I mean specifically to go and deal with, or continue to deal with Kairos. Next up, we've got Asur Domination. Which thing do we want next? Replenish campaign movement, recruitment cost reduction? No, not the thing that adds... Oh, this would take us to the next level. Hero action success chance could be useful. Growth for all provinces. Wins a magic power reserve. Research rate plus 20. This, we only have the income from trade tariffs plus 100%. And Elven Colony plus 1. 100%, eh? Oh. We really don't make a lot of money from trade right now, but it will rise soon. Slaneshi giggle. Maybe we should. Alright, screw it. It'll help with our money situation. Let's see what that did. Huh? What, was it at 3.2k and did it not change at all? Guys? Or was it at 3.6k? I should have checked, made note of the number. Well, it's too late now. You. The only thing I need you to do is build the money building, which is this building. There's no bigger money building, is there? There is the Royal Chartered Fleet, but 900 Elven trade per turn is not something that we can do right now. Yeah, we'll need significantly more trade before we can pop in any of those. And this is the Dragon Ship Supply one, and this is basically... at no cost, mind you. As in, we just get the dragon ship supplies, so this is pretty darn useful and probably something we'll want to build. Granted, we would have to forego any other building, but maybe we do it anyway. It also costs growth, but it's going to be a while before this place gets up to the tier 5 anyway, so yeah, fine. Let's get some free dragon ship stuff. Alright. And what is this? Obsidian Peaks and Clarkarant. Oh, we can keep upgrading these, but they are expensive, but do it anyway. And definitely the defenses. And do we have defenses? Yeah, okay. Upgrade the defenses, but we'll forgo upgrading anything else because we can't afford it. Rents again. Skip, 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 skip. No, I swear the trade didn't change at all when we did that. Am I incorrect as to what this says? Income from trade tariffs plus 100% faction-wide. Should it not have changed the income that we have? I don't know. Oh, whatever. Maybe I'm just crazy. The Reichlanders we could do a non-aggression with, but I mostly want to trade with other factions. And nobody here is liable to trade. Okay, we just need more trade goods. That's why we're in Nagaroth.
Protector of Elfwan.
Alright, let's see if Malekith attacks Arathond. Let's see if they get to meet again. And, yes, okay, so these guys will sally out against Salendor the Patient. Our army's gotten a little bit stronger than the last time we fought, and they don't have Kairos with them this time, though admittedly last time we did knock Kairos out of the sky relatively quick. Fight battle, I'm just now wondering whether we should sack, that we probably should, we need the money fight.
The time has come to show our prowess once more. The day shall be ours.
Alrighty, here we go. Salendor the Patient and his White Lions once again against the forces of Zinc. And we've had a couple of battles where we've taken fairly severe damage in this army, a Pyrrhic victory or two. But with every battle, we get stronger. We get more techs, we get more experience, red line buffs, etc., etc. And our units become more and more deadly and less prone to taking severe damage against the enemy. Obviously, we could spam more elite units, but I prefer to have more different armies, A, and B, the game is really happy to spam certain units, like we saw in the first few episodes against Nakari with 9 chosen on one army. The very concept is ridiculous from a lore perspective, but anyway, I digress. The enemy is marching towards us now, and our Lothern Sea Guard will begin laying down their fire upon whatever they can reach, well, not for now, and that is the Blue Horrors. Fortunately, same-said missile infantry is rather fragile, and we're going to stop the enemy, or at least slow the enemy down with that nice chain lightning. I do really like the reworked chain lightning with the effect that it leaves on the ground. It is quite nice, quite flashy. It also matches the Cathan lore in terms of the color scheme. Not the fire one, but it is, I do like it. Alright, I don't know how much damage it dealt there, but it was enjoyable to watch. It did... Huh? Oh. Looked at the wrong unit. It did... 3,000 damage. Again, I always try to remember where... we're not an SFO, so the damage values are different. Anyway, the enemy lord has touched down on that Disc of Zinc. It is a Chaos Sorcerer Lord. No, a regular Chaos Lord. Ooh, that means you're going to be a much better fighter. 52 melee attack and magical at that. And by the looks of it, you're having a very good time fighting that Sea Helm. Despite the disparity in levels, unfortunately it looks like we're going to have to back off as the enemy lord is winning. In the meantime, Chaos Warriors and Chosen alike have arrived and smashed into our main line, together with some Screamers. We are, however, going to focus the Screamers down as priority, dropping a Curse of the Midnight Wind upon them, which has 2 effects, one activating Roiling Skies from the Lore of the Heavens to debuff them, and then debuffing them further, while we cut them down with our units of White Lions, that were waiting as reserves. Over on the right flank, we have sent in our 2 other units of White Lions, which are quickly cutting through Blue Horrors and Centaurs, and are joined by at least a couple of the units of War Lions, but the latter are starting to take a fair bit of damage, and we had to peel away the Lion Chariots as they were getting focused down by the enemy range. Over all the way on the left flank, we have surrounded and destroyed a unit of Chaos Knights with the help of the War Lions to chase them down, but it was a concerted effort between the White Lions, War Lions, and then even the Chariots. I didn't watch this because it was, the rest of the battle was really busy at the time, but the War Chariots were used essentially for their mass to stop the charge of the Knights. And then we got to surround them with the White Lions and War Lions, and then get the Chariots out of there and engaging the enemy units of missile infantry. Here we have a unit of Chosen with halberds facing up against the White Lions, and they're absolutely tearing them apart. As in, the Chosen are barely taking any damage from the White Lions. It's a 2-tier disparity, tier 4 Chosen versus tier 2 White Lions, who are again a lot weaker in vanilla than they are in SFO. and have no real chance against those chosen. We're just going to have to work a little harder and use a few more units. Here come the Warline chariots moving through the enemy missile infantry to help out the units of Lothern's Skycutters, which have landed on the ground below. In the meantime, we have taken care of or otherwise engaged most of the enemy pink horrors. And at the very least, we are thusly not suffering too much in the way of range damage anymore, I guess. Anyway, the enemy's right flank is similarly engaged. The war lines, hurt though they are back into the action together with the white lines. And if nothing else, you gotta admit, white lines are a fantastic looking unit. I think especially with this blue color scheme that Aislinn has, it might be my favorite look for these guys. The white and blue really works well. Alrighty, and it looks like the battle is very nearly ours. Another unit of Chosen takes a rear charge from the Sea Helm and Eagle, and I imagine... Oh, they're not immune to psychology? That's kind of surprising. I feel like Chosen should be immune to psychology just by virtue of what they are. But I digress. Anyway, with them taking that rear charge, they will rout and the battle is ours. We will do our best to run down the Chosen as priority targets, but really do our best to run everything down. Unfortunately, between the War Lions and Warline chariots, I think we should be more than capable of doing so. And though the White Lions lost against the Chosen in their sort of melee contest, again unsurprisingly, they will be able to deliver plenty of blows through their backs as we run them down. Ooh, alright, there we go. Unfortunately, that cultist escaped, but, well, what can you do? I guess we'll just have to take him out next turn. Unless, wait, he's part of Moxia's army, so would that mean that we might be able to... that he'd get punted out of the army? I guess we're about to find out. Either way, rather tough fight. Pyrrhic victory for us. Takes a lot of effort to bring down the Chosen, even with the armor piercing of the White Lions. In SFO, they all, I believe, have armor sundering, whereas they don't all here, only the Pure Main Company does. They're considerably weaker in vanilla than they are in SFO, which is not lorefully appropriate, because White Lions are elite, that they're bodyguards of the Phoenix Kings, so I don't know, man. But I know obviously they're never going to be on par with freaking Chosen, but you know. Let's see. Who else did well? At 11,000, one of the War Lions did pretty well. 10k for one of the Line Chariots as well, though not only were they doing damage, but they were also sort of distracting piles of enemies by sort of moving around them. As always, solid work out of the Lothern Sea Guard, but keep in mind that the Sea Guard were firing at the weakest targets, while the rest of the White Lions, War Lions, etc. were fighting the strongest targets, so it's a little bit different. And these guys had free reign to fire upon blue and pink horrors rather than deal with Chosen. Anyway, we will... we can choose to sack it. We will not suffer attrition. I'm a little bit, though, worried that if we do this... I mean, we have to do it anyway. That their garrison will recover. I'm just going to hope that it doesn't recover to full. Sack. Actually, maybe shouldn't have chased every unit down, but oh well. You want us to join war? No. That's Hag Graef. I didn't even bother checking who, because we were not going to do that. Let's see how much of these guys' garrison recovers. Hopefully it's not too much. It'll be extremely irritating if it's the full thing, because then we'd have to sit there and heal up. And oh! There was another... wait, what? Oh, okay, no, I thought this was Malekith, but it is not. It is Gyrohis, who has decided to attack Sea Lord Aislinn out of Hag Graef, which we did want, and we're getting, so fight.
The Asur Navy shall always protect Ulthuan.
Alrighty, here we go. The lovely sound of high elven horns signals the start of the battle, and the whistling of the arrows as they thunk into the Dark Elves, I'm sure, will be music to the ears of our Sea Guard. We have deployed ourselves in the water because our Sea Guard are aquatic units, and we will take full advantage of it, as the enemy has a very solid stack with plenty of tier 4 and 5 units like a bunch of Blackguard of Nagarond units, and the Knights of the Ebon Claw, and those Executioner Regiment of Renown. Good stuff. Anyway, won't stop the Blackguard from being pin-cushioned, shieldless as they are, and while we don't have a lot of armor-piercing damage from the units of Seaguard compared to something like Sisters of Avalorn, it's more than enough. Over on the right flank, the enemy has attempted to get around us with the Knights of the Ebon Claw, but we have caught them out and forced them to engage with our Sea Elemental here, Mathlann's Wrath, which is going to deliver decent alpha damage, I'm willing to bet, and keep them pinned in place. With its 99 melee defense, and they're going to have a difficult time dealing any damage to it as well. In the meantime, there is plenty more units over on the left flank. In fact, the majority of units are on the left flank. We have summoned our Mareworm, and Silak One Eye, our other Mareworm, has joined the fray as well, while Aislinn is, well, also down there. The big boys, basically, although the second Mareworm will probably disappear in very short order. In fact, that was it disappearing. Silak will continue to work. There is another unit of Blackguard of Nagarond here, and while they will probably be a distinct threat to the Sea Elementals, I'm willing to bet that the sheer amount of splash damage, because water, from the Mareworm will be more than enough to handle a single unit of them. In the meantime, there's still a ton of enemy shades and dark shards that we need to engage so that they stop firing for as long as possible, and Aislinn's going to take up that duty while we reposition our units of Lothern Seaguard to fire over the cliffside and down on the other range units below. It looks like we're starting to take a fair bit of damage on one of the ship's companies, the deck swabbers here, who are down to about half of their HP and half of their unit numbers, but that shouldn't be surprising as they are fighting a unit of Executioner, and even with the Oceanids there to take the hits, that's still a ton of damage coming from these guys, especially with Murderous Mastery active. On the bright side, though, the bounce power has shifted to about 90% in our favor. While the enemy elites still do fight, I'm willing to bet they won't do so for much longer. Those enemy range units that we can reach with our own are getting taken out by the Lothern Seaguard. And I don't imagine the enemy army will stick around for too much longer. There we go. The army losses begin to tell. Even the elite Blackguard of Nagarond, who know nothing but war for their entire lives, will break. And with that, the battle is ours. Very nice. Solid sally out of the enemy. I mean, it's a tier 5 settlement, so it does make sense. I really enjoyed that fight, and I expect a similar battle out of Nagarond itself next. Alright, there we go. Another really nice fight with a much-needed chunk of change. That unit of Black Ark Corsairs survives, leaving the garrison, so we can't take it this turn, unfortunately. The Sorceress, I take it, will be punted out of the army, which actually does mean that she'll survive. Damn that one unit of Corsairs. Oh well, should have paid closer attention to who was escaping. For the Oceanids with 16k damage, the Defenders of Imladris and do pretty darn well. Solid damage dealt as gold value on Mathlann's Wrath as it was fighting the Knights of the Ebon Claw, and that's a tier 5 regiment of renown, a fairly strong one at that. The Bird Taxi actually lost out to the other Lothern Sky Cutters. Our Lothern Seaguard are probably led by the Storm Riders, and actually one of the unnamed ones. For the ship's company, the deck swabbers took a lot of damage, but also dealt out more damage, although not quite as much as the company of Calendyrian. Lastly, with 254 kills and 22,000 damage, solid work at a Sea Lord Aislinn. I'm going to say take the money. Well, then again, well, next turn we have to occupy this anyway, so the healing will happen anyway, meaning we're free to take the cash. Take the cash.
Thankful for my clemency.
And it looks like Malekith will not attack us. Maybe he wasn't trapped. Maybe he can withdraw. I guess we're about to find out. Oh, please don't screw me on this garrison. Why did that? I should have let one unit live, damn it. What can you do? Alrighty, what do we have here? Ally mission successful, ally mission successful, good for ally missions, and hey, he was trapped, good. Thalendor the Patient has perfect vigor, enemy killed in battle, Zubaran has an Ithilmar chariot. I prefer the Ithilmar steeds on the mages, if not flyers. You also have a... Okay, you got a Great Eagle. It's probably fine for you. Ithilmar chariot for Caradhrian. No. Steed all the way into Ashtari because, yeah, of course. The Bane shield. This could actually be useful. The missile block chance affects allies. I'm actually surprised that... oh, it's only one use. That's why it's a common item. Pestilence scheme performed Clan Morris. Technology researched. Good for technology. Now, our money is, if not quite fixed, it's getting there. If we break the siege... well, you have no... Wait, don't you have siege attacker on the Phoenixes? No, you don't. Well, darn. I guess we could temporarily give one of the Oceans... Oh, they also don't have siege attacker. I really just don't want to waste the movement range of... Aislinn, because we could easily capture this otherwise. Alright, I'm going to say Saji. Oh, you can't reach it anyway, can you? Oh well. A shame. I guess you're gonna have to waste the turn then. We're not sacking it, much as I'd love to take the cash. I would love more so to auto-resolve and occupy it as a colony. Like so. Captured a tier 4. Beautiful. I have this thing here. I was going to recruit more Skycutters from Aislinn's army using Arathond, but it may no longer be necessary, although the Silverin Guards still are. Can you recruit them for him while Aislinn is busy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just as our money gets fixed, we unfix it. Damn it. I blame me. Anyway, let's see. You can immediately start on the face of Hag Graef. She giggle, because we need the additional iron and the money and the everything. Then we will... I'm gonna say get even more money. Let's immediately build a silversmith's hall. We could go... Oh, we will want the noble consulate, but we want to wait until we have the growth there, so we'll just wait. And then this we will delete, but only after we build the stuff that needs to be built the stuff that needs to be built. We have 6.7 elven trade, meaning let's take one of these. I'm gonna say it's a nice upgrade for these guys. And still I'm thinking the missile strength. Ooh, you know what, we're starting to get a lot of colonies, so maybe construction cost minus 10% for all buildings is nice. And then there's the income from all buildings, which will still be helpful as well. Also, these technologies should be giving us surplus, so soon we'll be able to get one of these in one turn, hopefully. And we should absolutely take advantage of that. Alright, looking good. Armandus, you were going to sail out, grab that Remnants of Battle, because there's no fight to be had there. Tech Thief, you will also sail out, and... Oh, it's going to be a long time traveling that way. I wonder if it would be faster to... Okay, 1 second. Hall of True Silver. Free Enchanted Shield. And the Ensorcelled Blades, of course. If we travel through here... we could take... Wait, if we take this sea lane... We could go and annoy Dakala. It might be closer. Yeah, alright, let's go and annoy Dakala. And go here. And then Armandus starts traveling once. Are you in the Great Ocean? Yeah, go to the Sea of Dread. Not to the neutral coastline. Meron, I don't remember who you are. Oh, right, you're supposed to join this army, right? Mist Mage, yes. Though I do wonder now... I mean, you're supposed to take the place of the Everqueen's Court Guards, which are supposed to go into a more, you know, thematic army for them. You're gonna end up here, so you can just sort of sit here and then wait for them to come on in. Is there any other thing that we'd want to replace in this army? I mean, I'm kind of happy with the 5 Sea Guard in their current state. The Everqueen's Court Guards, I mean, we don't have that army up and running yet. That's kind of the thing. Maybe we can just go down to 2 of the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. They're okay, but outside of SFO, they're just mostly there to annoy the enemy army into moving towards us rather than do any real damage. Anyway, Lothern Sea Guard, Silverin Guard. Okay, so we will need a movable force for the Silverin Guard. There's nothing here that we get advantage out of, and there's nothing here that we get advantage out of in this particular army. So we're good with the red line. Let's grab Route Marcher, because we'll be traveling a lot. Just double checking. Yeah, this is fine. Now let's grab Vol's Legacy then. Alright, looking pretty okay now. Lovely. What else do we got? Salandor the Patient. Let's see. Did the garrison come back and in what state? Okay, not a particularly great state. So we'll auto-resolve this. And, wow, that was more damage than I was expecting. But anyway, establish outpost. One of these days I'm going to click the wrong one, and I'm going to be very sad. Order of Lore Masters. Yes. Alright, and they still get this thing at tier 3. So I'm happy with that result. You can encamp now and hopefully heal up before moving on to Demon's Gate, which is going to be another sackable territory for us. You have this to get your upkeep reduction going. We should also probably build the crew growth rate thing next. Yeah. Also, what do we have in terms of... Oh yeah, okay, rally. We will need both Seaguard and all the White Lion stuff. So Seaguard would be both favorable... Well, just favorable wins, actually. Oh, but the White Lions are a movable force, eh? And then the War Lions are Silver Torrent. We don't need Heart of the Flame, though. Alright, so we'll start with favorable wins, mostly because they're higher rank already. And... Huh? Wait, what? What? What are you talking about? This is... What? Wait, what? This is supposed to take 1, not 4. Did they just do that for Sea Lords? That is dumb. That is tremendously dumb. Granted, it only wastes 1 point because we need this one and this one anyway, in this particular case. I guess it does incentivize doing different armies, but it's still dumb. It doesn't, you know, preclude it from being dumb. Anyway, this army currently doesn't have a noble, so it doesn't heal as much as other armies do, unfortunately. I'm gonna say you can get hard to hit because your Winds of Magic are maxed out. Yeah, I fear that we're going to have to... Well, technically speaking, the dragon ships could be without a noble because they have Blessed Bower, and on top of that, we can get a research thing that will give dragon ships even more replenishment. So that we can bypass. Malekith, I think we're going to save until next episode. Artheus, are you gonna be starting your recruitment now? Maybe a couple more turns. Nearly there, though. Oh, we should, however, keep an eye on the Lore Masters because... Let me just see. Okay, actually, we should be keeping an eye on everybody. I do really like Conscientious for nobles, but... I mean, we could use this one to steal influence. We don't really need the influence that bad. Our influence is pretty good. Mage, Fire Mage, Protective, and Genius. Maybe we should just take the Protective one. Maybe we should. Alright, what about Lore Masters? Come on, Blade Lord. No, Protected and Medic. Alright, well, we'll get one. Eventually. And actually, do you have a noble in your army, right? Yes, this is the noble with Honed, which is, yeah, we definitely needed for these guys. Frankly, if we should try to get another noble with Honed in this army, because it applies both to Ship's Company and Rangers, both of which are going to be pretty weak here. It does not apply to Swords Masters in here, but they need it a lot less than the weakies. So, yeah. Anyway, what else do we got? Tech Thief, one of the Tech Thieves. Go this way. Meron, you are... Oh, I already moved you slightly, so you're fine. Likamoida and Darathond, I think we're gonna save the contest between you and Malekith for next episode, so the only thing that we have to do is do building, and then we can start on that at the start of next episode. Let's go for the Glittering Emporium. More money, please. And Naval Armory as well for more dragon ship supplies, which are in pretty good shape now. And, oh, wait. I do believe, Aislinn, you're ready to go to Calendar... Yes. Citadel of the Calendarian. And dragon ship crew growth increase unlocks all hero recruitments, so we can... Well, not all, but... Lore Masters, Mages, and Mist Mages. I think we can get Nobles from one of these things as well. So, yeah, anyway. Definitely get this. That's half of our dragon ship supplies just for it, but, you know, worth it. Alright. Southern Jungles, Latland, yes, upgrade to a tier 5 colony seaport. Next, you don't have the money-making thing, so we'll go for the Phoenix King's Treasury, most definitely. And technically speaking, we soon won't need the military structures here. We could put them elsewhere, but anyway. We will replace them most likely with either the Voyager's Harbor to get more dragon ship supplies, because, you know, more and more dragon ships will need more supplies. Or we could probably replace them potentially with one of these as soon as we have enough trade goods going. For now, though, get another dragon ship berth. Lovely. Alright, that's the benefit of having more colonies. And then Hag Graef, why did I not build what I was going to build? Oh, because we need to get the noble consulate up and running. What about all of the little territories, the outposts, that's the one. You will definitely need a Sea Guard bulwark. And let's take a quick look through all of these. One of these days between the episodes, I'm going to do some swapping with some of these. Not this time, but you know, one of these days. Fate Weaver's Crevasse. All right, we just captured you. We need to build you like so, and this is not a coastal settlement, so Seat of the Sea Lord. Good. This is good. Claude Coast is goodish. You need to be upgraded. You need to be upgraded, and then you need to be... Wait, what is Hotek's column? That's inland. Inland means we're probably doing this. We could... Yeah, not a coastal, no colony here. And the income is never rising that high, and there's no tradable goods, so no goods warehouse. So there we go. And then... Oh, there's two more. Alright, so you... Ultra facades and not coastal, and no trade goods. You can be upgraded. And we still have money, wouldn't you know it? And then you need to be upgraded to a proper garrison. And then Eataine, we're good with. There we go. With that, the only thing that's left is the fight. So I'm going to call the episode here because we're out of time, and next episode we will start same said episode off with immediately attacking Malekith, with Arathon then proceeding to grab Storag Core and trade it to these little idiots. And then maybe taking out a few more of these territories. Looks like Vol's Anvil won't fall naturally to rebellion, so at some point we're going to have to make the decision as to whether to betray these guys. The main reason that I haven't already, despite how desperately I want that landmark, is the fact that these Kislevites have a defensive alliance with every single one of the other elves. Would the other elves care if we destroy them? Not really. Because of the outposts, we have an absolutely ludicrous amount of relationship with them. But still, I don't know. And these guys did such a good job completely wiping out Marathi. Granted, it deprived us of the pleasure of doing that ourselves, but I don't know. I'll continue thinking about it. You better not be coming down to the Shrine of Cain. Well, actually, you can't take the Shrine of Cain. Not anymore. Well, previously, perhaps, but not anymore. And, oh. Wait, does this have walls? Adds defenses, nope, unwalled settlements. We might have to replace that other building with this to give, wait, this won't give walls either? Are we just unable to, we're unable to build walls in minor settlements? That's kind of annoying. Just completely unable. Wait, why would we be able? This is mine, oh, it's I can't. I thought that because of the landmark for a second that this was a province capital, and I was like, why no walls? But yeah, this is a minor settlement. Oh, that's fine, it's fine. Yeah, I'm rambling. Ending the episode here. Malekith versus Arathon next time. Stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. Keeping in mind engagement and all that. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.